Hi everybody, it's Lynn. Today I thought I'd show you how to make a bracelet using items from the April 2023 Bargain Bead Box subscription. So I've pulled from the box the Lampwork Flower, both of the rose quartz rose beads, or they're kind of like the disc beads, some of the little peridot beads, some of the leaf beads, and some of the 6mm pink and gold rounds. Now from my stash, I've pulled beading wire, and you can use whatever beading wire you'd like to. I happen to have this AccuFlex that is pink, so I thought I would use that because we are going to have wire that's going to show. I've also pulled from my stash a couple of jump rings, some crimp tubes, some wire guardians, a magnetic clasp, and crimp tube covers, and some little teeny tiny bead caps that we're going to use on the 6mm. And of course, I've got my tools standing by here. So the first thing we're going to do is attach a piece of beading wire to our flower. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to come up from the bottom through the hole, which is in the center of the flower. And then we're going to pick up a crimp tube with the other end of our beading wire. I'm going to bring that tube down and put both wires through the tube. Okay. Now on this beading wire, I cut myself about 7 inches on each side because I want to make sure I've got plenty of room to do what I need to do to crimp these on. Because we want to be very careful with this one because this flower is delicate and we don't want to get so close that we crack it, right? So what I'm trying to do is hold my beading wire out to the side, pulling it tight enough to keep the flower from spinning, but leaving enough room to keep from doing damage to it. So I'm going to get my crimp pliers in there, get that tube laid in there, making sure I don't have the flower in there. And I'm going to squeeze. Okay. Yeah, that's good and tight. Then we're going to turn 90 degrees and finish closing the crimp tube. It's twisting on me a little bit. My goodness. I'm just being so careful, y'all, because if I break this flower, I'm going to cry. There we go. Okay, now because these beads are so small, rather than feed the wire back through the beads again, I'm going to go ahead and snip it off right at the crimp tube. Just be real careful that you get the right cord that you're snipping. Okay, so we have that on there. Now we're going to take the other one, grab us a crimp tube, and I'm going to go ahead and get the other one added to our flower. So we're going to do the same thing. Come up through the middle. Now here, we've got to be careful that we get the beading wire exactly across from where the other one sits. Because if we don't, our bracelet will not fit properly. Okay. So we're going to put that crimp tube over both wires. Pull that down, making sure we're in the right spot. And we are right there. Okay. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to get that crimp tube in that first divot, making sure we're good. No flower in there. And squeeze. And turn it. And finish closing our crimp tube. There we go. And I don't know if I can get you a good shot, but let's see. You see the beading wire is directly across from itself. Okay, and that is what we wanted to accomplish. Okay, now we just have to get our beads on in the right order. Okay. Now I want to make sure that I have the flower turned right, and I do have the top up top. Just empty my beads out so they're a little easier to get to here, especially the little bead caps because they are teeny tiny tiny. Okay, the first thing we're going to put on is one of our leaf beads. And we're going to put it so that the wide part of the leaf is up against our flower. Then we're putting on a coin bead. Another leaf bead. This time also wide part of the bead at the flower. Okay, and now a bead cap, a pink bead, another bead cap, oh boy, these teeny tiny things, a peridot, um, just I'll tell you while we're stringing here a little bit about Bargain Bead Box. If you're unfamiliar with it, I will leave their website information below so that you can go and check them out if you want to. But it is a monthly subscription. I got to pull my magnifying glass down, you guys. It's a monthly subscription that comes directly to your door for the price of $19.49 per month. It is not a long-term obligation. You can cancel anytime you want to, but you get a great value for your money. This particular box that we're working on right now had a retail value, I believe, of $73, and we paid less than $20 for it. Brought right to our door. So you can determine for yourself what kind of value you think that is. I think it's pretty good. Now, I will tell you the theme of the box is different every month, and you may not like every single month, but there are other people that do like what you don't like. So you could consider getting involved with some sort of bead swap if you wanted to. There are lots of them on Facebook. Or just remember that, you may have someone that you can make a gift for that they would love it even though you don't. So you just get a lot of things for the money, in my opinion. And then on top of that, you get a 30% off coupon every single month to their sister store, which has amazing values on its own. So that's also something else to consider, y'all. Okay, and then I've got a leaf that I'm going to put at the very end. Okay, so here's what we have. We have 4 of our pink beads on a side and a couple of our leaf beads. So there we go. Now, I'm not going to crimp this just yet. I'm just going to put a little bead bug on it to hold it in place while I string the other side. Okay, and we're going to do it exactly the same as we did the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything on pause for a minute, and I'm going to string this side just to keep the video not so long, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, we're back. And as you can see, I went ahead and finished off that side of the bracelet. I did have to make an adjustment. It was a little bit short, so I added another leaf to each end but I wanted to come back and show you the crimping on this one. Okay, so I have everything strung on. I've added my wire guardian, and now I'm going to put the other side of the wire through the crimp tube. And because we have two of these leaf beads at the end, I can now go through a couple of beads. I did that on the other side also. Well, maybe I can, maybe I can't. It fit on the other side, but it looks like it's not going to fit on this side. Nope. Okay, well, that's all right. Doesn't matter, supposedly. So I'm going to close down our wire guardian without crushing it. And then I'm going to pull this snug enough, making sure my bracelet will bend and it's fine. So we're ready to crimp. So I've got this wire out to the side. I'm going to put the crimp tube in the first divot, making sure I don't have a leaf or the wire guardian inside the pliers. Well, okay. And squeeze and turn and finish closing our crimp. Okay, cut off our excess wire. Okay, let's put our other crimp tube cover on. What I do is I grab it with the pliers and put it over that crimp tube and squeeze. And then pick it up and just finesse it so that you make it round like a normal bead. There we go. And all we have left to do is put our clasp on. So we do have a magnetic clasp. This is a seriously strong magnet, y'all. I found these at Joann's a very long time ago. And every time I go, I look to see if they have them, and I haven't found them since. And I've looked online everywhere I know to look, and I cannot find them. The reason I like them so much is this is kind of held into this little box, and it can't just pull straight out. So I love that about it. Okay, so that's one side. Let's get the other side. Come through your wire guardian and grab the other side of your clasp. I leave my clasp together so that I make sure I get them on properly. Make sure your jump ring is closed real good. And there is our pretty little bracelet. Now I hope it fits since I had to make some adjustments, and it certainly does. There we go. All right, guys. Well, that's our bracelet for today. We will make more items using this bargain bead box because, goodness gracious, we have a lot of beads left. But I kind of have an idea, and I want to show you something so that if you decide you'd like to try and find these, you could find them. We have an upcoming project that we're going to use this beautiful porcelain rose bead and these beautiful porcelain rondelles and these beautiful porcelain rounds. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this beautiful porcelain rose and we're going to make ourselves kind of an eye pin / bail, and we're going to attach a chain tassel to the bottom of our rose to make kind of a long necklace, and I think it's going to be real pretty. So I did get all of those beads at Joann's if you want to try to find them for yourself. If you don't, you can take any bead that has a similar hole as this one does and make the same style necklace that we're going to be making with this. So look through your stash if you don't want to go out and see if you can find those, and see what you can find. And that'll be coming up real soon. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already done so, I hope you'll think about subscribing and ringing the bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.